Hey and welcome to the Flying Shapes tutorial. In this episode I'm going to cover the surface continuity feature. You've already maybe watched the tutorial episode on the curve continuity. We also have something comparable but way cooler for surfaces. Let's start creating two combined surfaces. Maybe I'll make this a bit more clear by doing this. And okay, how can I make it smooth? I can of course try to adjust this manually, but there's an automated way for this. And this works by hovering the curve between two adjacent patches. So I hover the curve, you see it's highlighted in yellow. And now I simply press the mode button, the one here. So I click it and you see I have the CVs aligned, transition between or connection between the two adjacent patches. You know this icon from the curves maybe. You can also here, when you move this CV, the other one will follow because the continuity requirement enforces a certain dependence of these three CVs among one another. You can also here toggle between different continuity modes. So when I hover this central CV that belongs to the curve, you see the icon that indicates that this connection is always symmetrical. So when I change this length, the other one changes as well. I can toggle these modes like for the curve tool when I hover the connecting curve and press the mode button again. So you see now it's not symmetrical anymore, it's still connected. So the tangent here is still identical. It's still a straight line between these CVs, but the lengths are not the same anymore. So you can make it less smooth while maintaining a general, somewhat smooth or continuous transition. And you can of course deactivate that by pressing once again. Now it's three completely independent CVs again. So to repeat things, hover the connecting curve, press the mode button, turns on this kind of continuity. Hovering it again, pressing it again, goes to this one, so the non-symmetric G1 combination. And pressing again turns off this feature and you can freely move again. But the same works for any set of surfaces. So let's just build a patch layout. It applies to like whatever complex patch layouts you can think of. Let's start like this, and I simply turn on the feature for all connections. Now I do have now one of the effects is of course when I change something, my adjacent patches change as well, because otherwise the continuity would not be the case anymore. So you need to be aware of this. And if you want to have more freedom in the design of one patch or one surface that has this continuity link, you may need to add more CVs in the respective direction. So if I added another CV here, I'd have more freedom at least on this side of the patch. Try that out for yourself. It's a bit hard to describe it, but you can very easily see what happens. So this is why here I have this effect of adjacent impacts. So this one impacts this, and this CV, but it doesn't impact this one. Still across this link, there is a direct impact on one another, because in this direction we only have three CVs. You see that now I have made all these transitions G1 symmetrical. Everything looks quite smooth. So all joints are smooth and continuous now. And this is a very reliable way to enforce this requirement if you need it. You can always change it by toggling that mode again, but it's a very neat way to enforce continuity also through changes. So if you decide to change anything, this is fine, this won't impact anything else, but this will change the adjacent surfaces to maintain continuity requirements. I think it makes a lot of sense for you to get used to it yourself. It's a bit hard to explain it in only a short video, but it's a very handy feature. Let us know how you get along with this feature, and if you have any additional features that you would like to have added. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode.